Chosen one, listen carefully. Heaven has pressed pause on everything around you because this message is not for the crowd, it is for you. The air shifts when your name is spoken in the throne room. The angels lean closer. The destiny written for you before the foundations of the earth is stirring again. You have felt the shaking, the resistance, the silent nights when nothing made sense. Yet today, a divine whisper echoes across eternity. The reversal has begun. You thought what happened broke you, but in truth, it positioned you. Every betrayal, every closed door, every tear that fell in secret was counted and stored in the cup of remembrance. The pain you endured became the seed that now demands a harvest. Heaven is not ignoring you. Heaven is aligning everything for you. December 5th is not just another day on the calendar. It is a marked moment in eternity where what was meant to harm you turns to serve your purpose. You are not reading these words by accident. This is divine interception. You are being summoned back into remembrance of who you are. You are the one who carries heaven's DNA. The enemy fought you because he knew if you ever realized who you truly were, you would become unstoppable. You carry authority that shifts atmospheres, and your endurance through the storm has unlocked heaven's permission to reverse the damage. As was spoken in the sacred texts of old, Genesis chapter 50, verse 20. You intended to harm me, but God intended it for good. Those words were not merely history. They are prophecy breathing over your life right now. Every weapon that was formed against you is now being turned into a tool for your promotion. The same hands that wounded you will have to witness your elevation. Chosen one, the Spirit of God says, do not fear what's coming, prepare your spirit instead. This is not a season of survival, it is a season of divine reversal. The tables are turning and heaven is rewriting the story in your favor. You are stepping into the chapter where your name is vindicated, your faith is honored, and your obedience is rewarded. You have walked through fire and came out carrying glory. You have been misunderstood, but heaven understood you. You have been rejected, but God selected you. You were hidden, but now you are about to be revealed. Every closed door was not a punishment. It was divine preservation. God was saving your oil for an appointed time, and that time is now. Listen, what broke others only built you. What destroyed the weak only refined you. You are not forgotten. You are being revealed. Your name is being whispered in rooms you've never entered. Your voice is being remembered by those who once dismissed you. The hand of God is writing your turnaround into existence even now. Do not despise your waiting season. Every wilderness was a classroom. Every delay was a divine detour to ensure your foundation would be strong enough to carry what's about to be released. You were never being punished. You were being prepared. The heavens are aligning, and your story is about to make sense in a way that silences every mocker. There will be signs, subtle confirmations that the reversal is already in motion. Dreams that feel like instructions. Encounters that carry divine timing. People who once resisted you will suddenly favor you. Opportunities will open that seem impossible to human logic. Do not question it. This is the Lord's doing, and it will be marvelous in your eyes. But hear this warning. Chosen one, when the reversal begins, stay humble. The anointing is not a stage light, it is a stewardship. Your elevation is not just for display, it's for purpose. God is positioning you to become a vessel through which others will find deliverance. You are not just being blessed, you are being entrusted. So lift your head, dry your tears, and prepare your heart. The pain that once defined you will soon testify of God's power through you. The storm that threatened to drown you has only cleansed you. You are stepping into your divine vindication. This is the moment when heaven's decree overrides the plans of man. Chosen one, if this word ignites your spirit, do not let it pass in silence. Declare your faith publicly. Tap into this prophetic flow, like share and subscribe, so that the message of reversal reaches every other chosen soul who needs to hear it. And if you receive this word as confirmation, comment below the prophetic number 777, the number of divine completion and heavenly reversal. Let it be a sign between you and God that you are ready for what is coming. Heaven has spoken. The countdown has already begun. Prepare your spirit, for what was meant to harm you will soon elevate you. The tables are turning, and by December 5th you will testify that God has reversed what was meant for your destruction and turned it into destiny. Chosen one, breathe. You have carried so much for so long that even stillness feels strange. You've been holding your breath, waiting for the next blow, expecting the next disappointment. But heaven whispers now, you were never forsaken. Every silence was sacred, and every unanswered prayer was a seed buried deep, not ignored but incubated. You thought God was distant when the night grew heavy, but he was nearer than your own heartbeat. The proof of his nearness was not in what you felt, but in what you survived. You have been sustained by unseen hands, kept by grace that never failed. What you called abandonment was divine protection. Heaven was hiding you until the moment of unveiling. When you cried out, "Where are you?" Lord, he answered in ways you didn't recognize. The closed doors were mercy. The delays were protection. The detours were redirections, keeping you from traps laid in darkness. The pain that made you doubt was the very tool reshaping your faith into unshakable strength. You are not forgotten. You are fortified. God did not overlook you. He outmaneuvered your enemy. The battles you thought you lost were victories disguised in patience. The unanswered seasons were the soil from which purpose is now about to bloom. You were never meant to fit where you once tried to belong. You were separated, refined, and sanctified for such a time as this. Heaven speaks clearly through the words in Deuteronomy chapter 31, verse 6. He will never leave you nor forsake you. Let that truth sink into the deep places of your being. You were never abandoned in the wilderness. The shepherd was simply silent because he was leading you by presence, not by explanation. Even when you felt unseen, your tears reached the throne. Even when you felt unworthy, grace wrapped around you like a shield. Remember the times you thought it was over, the nights when you whispered, "I can't go on." Yet here you are, still standing, still breathing, still chosen. That is not coincidence, that is evidence. You are living proof that divine purpose outlasts human despair. Your continued existence is the testimony that grace has never let you go. There were seasons when the enemy whispered lies, convincing you that God had forgotten your name. But heaven knew your voice in the dark. The angels were dispatched at your weakest hour, though you did not see them. Every why that tore through your heart was met with divine compassion. God did not rebuke your questions. He gathered them as prayers too deep for words. You must understand this forsakenness was an illusion crafted by the storm. The absence you felt was not punishment but protection. God was teaching you to trust his heart when his hand could not be traced. The silence of heaven is not rejection, it is intimacy on a deeper level. For only those chosen for higher realms are trained in hiddenness. You have walked through loneliness, betrayal, misunderstanding, and silence, and still, your spirit has not broken. That is not by your strength, it is by his covenant. Every tear that fell in the secret place was recorded. Every sigh became incense rising before his throne. Heaven has not forgotten a single moment. Do you remember when you nearly gave up? The time when hope felt too heavy to hold, and somehow, a flicker of peace came through the storm that was his presence. You didn't imagine it. You were not alone. His mercy shadowed you. His love covered you. His spirit sustained you when your strength was gone. Now, as the divine reversal unfolds, you will begin to see why certain prayers went unanswered. God was not ignoring you. He was orchestrating something greater than you asked for. The no you received was actually the yes that would preserve your destiny. The people who walked away were not essential for the next chapter. The things that ended were never meant to carry you into your promised season. Chosen one, the time of confusion is ending. Clarity is being released. You will look back and see that every delay was a bridge, every heartbreak a doorway, every silence a sanctuary where your faith grew roots deep enough to hold divine favor. You are now stepping out of the wilderness carrying wisdom that can't be learned in comfort. You have been refined into someone who no longer depends on the approval of men but on the assurance of God. The very areas of your life that felt empty are being prepared to overflow. Let the old fear go. You will never walk alone again because you never did. The same hand that held you in the dark is now guiding you into the dawn. The same God who seemed silent is now speaking through your restoration. And when others ask, "How did you survive?" that you will smile and say, "Because I was never forsaken. The one who called you still walks beside you. His covenant stands, his presence remains. And even when you feel nothing, he is everything. Chosen one, you have felt it, the invisible pressure, the unseen opposition, the weight that never matched what was happening around you. That is because the warfare surrounding your life has never been ordinary. You are not fighting for things. You are contending for territories in the spirit. Your very existence threatens darkness. Your obedience breaks generational chains. That is why the battles you face seem unexplainable, because they are not natural battles. They are spiritual confrontations against the destiny you carry. Every sleepless night, every sudden wave of heaviness, every attack that seemed to come out of nowhere, it was never random. You were targeted because you are marked. Heaven placed a mantle upon you, and hell recognized it long before you did. But do not be afraid. The same fire that tried to consume you is the fire that reveals your purity. The Spirit spoke through the apostle when he said in Ephesians chapter 6, verse 12, "For our struggle is not against flesh and blood. You are not wrestling with people. You are contending against powers that fear what you are becoming." The arguments, the rejections, the betrayals, they were not personal. They were spiritual attempts to break your confidence and silence your authority. But you have stood firm. You did not collapse under the weight because the Spirit of the living God is within you. Understand this truth before glory is revealed. Warfare intensifies. The moment heaven decides to manifest something through you, opposition multiplies. The warfare you've endured is the proof that you carry something precious. The enemy doesn't waste his resources on the average. He reserves his fiercest attacks for the anointed. When you faced the storm, heaven was not panicking. The angels were not surprised. God already factored the battle into your destiny's blueprint. You were born with victory written into your design. The only thing that could delay it was your own doubt, but you did not quit. You kept walking when you didn't understand. You kept believing when everything screamed, "Give up." And because of that, heaven is about to shift your reality. Hidden warfare always leads to visible glory. The darkness fought so violently because it knows what's about to emerge from you will destroy its plans. The greater the opposition, the greater the revelation. You are not being punished. You are being positioned. What felt like pressure was really preparation. The pain was prophetic training. Every hardship has been shaping you into a weapon formed in the hands of God. Chosen one. When you wake up feeling heavy for no reason, understand it's not depression, it's discernment. When you feel anxious before a breakthrough, it's not fear, it's your spirit detecting movement in the unseen. You are spiritually sensitive because you have been called to operate in higher realms. Heaven is expanding your awareness so that when the reversal arrives, you can steward it with wisdom. This battle has not been for your destruction, it's been for your discovery. You are discovering who you truly are, one chosen to carry divine authority. Every attack exposed another layer of strength you didn't know existed. You thought the warfare would break you, but instead, it awakened your power. And now, the veil is thinning. What was hidden is being revealed. The enemy is losing his grip. The assignments sent to delay you are being dismantled even as you read these words. There is movement in the atmosphere around you. Angels of breakthrough are being dispatched. You may not see them, but you will feel the shift. The invisible is aligning before it manifests in the visible. So do not curse the battle that shaped you. The pain that pressed you will become the oil that anoints you. The storms that shook you have built within you an unshakable faith. You are not fragile, you are forged. You have authority now because you endured without bitterness. You have wisdom now because you learned to listen in silence. Chosen one, lift your head. The warfare is proof that the glory is near. The battle that once terrified you will soon testify for you. What you've carried in secret is about to be seen by all. Heaven is not asking you to fight harder. He's asking you to stand taller. Victory is already yours. You only need to align your posture with it. Now pause and do this prophetic act. Declare it aloud and type it as a sign of agreement in the comments. I stand firm. That simple phrase carries authority. It is not just a statement. It's a spiritual decree. When you write it, you align yourself with heaven's command to remain unshaken. It silences fear, cancels confusion, and reminds every dark force that your position is victory. The angels respond to declaration, not emotion. So when you say, I stand firm, all of heaven stands with you. Let this truth burn within you. Chosen one, you are not under attack, you are under assignment. What the enemy used to pressure you will soon be the reason others are delivered through your testimony. The hidden warfare is becoming visible glory. You will soon see what heaven saw all along. Light cannot be defeated when it refuses to hide. Chosen one, the veil is lifting, and what was hidden in darkness is being dragged into the light. The enemy's plot is being exposed not later, not someday, but now. For too long, the adversary moved in subtlety, whispering lies into your thoughts, manipulating moments, twisting truth to make you doubt your worth. Yet, heaven has sounded the alarm. Every strategy formed against you is unraveling thread by thread. You have felt the tension, the sudden conflicts, the strange misunderstandings, the feeling that something unseen was resisting your progress. That was the plot at work. But what the enemy failed to understand is that while he was scheming, God was watching. While he was plotting your downfall, heaven was preparing your deliverance. Divine justice is never delayed. It arrives exactly when the lesson is complete and the heart is ready. You must understand this: the enemy cannot destroy what God has already redeemed. He can distract, distort, and delay, but he cannot defeat the will of the Almighty. You are walking proof of that truth. Every attack that should have ended you has only made you more dangerous to darkness. Every wound that should have silenced you has only deepened your understanding of divine warfare. Heaven is pulling back the curtain on the unseen operations that once caused confusion. People who once pretended to support you will reveal their true intentions. not for your shame, but for your protection. God allows exposure not to humiliate, but to liberate. You cannot fight what you cannot see, so He is showing you what has been operating behind the scenes. Do not be afraid when truth surfaces. Some revelations will sting, others will break your heart. But all of them are necessary for your purification. The light must first uncover before it can heal. You cannot walk into the next season carrying attachments that were rooted in deception. This exposure is an act of mercy, not punishment. God is ensuring that when your reversal comes, it will not be sabotaged by hidden enemies in your camp. You may not have realized it, but some of the opposition came from familiar places, voices that smiled while planning your fall. Yet even that, chosen one, has served a purpose. Betrayal trained your discernment. Rejection trained your resilience. Lies trained your ability to hear truth even in silence. Every hidden scheme has produced strength you didn't know you had. The prophet once declared words that still echo through eternity in Isaiah chapter 54, verse 17. No weapon formed against you shall prosper. Those words are not a poetic comfort, they are a divine decree. They mean that every plan crafted in darkness must fail when confronted with light. The weapon may be formed, but it will never function. The curse may be spoken, but it will never land. The storm may rise, but it will never overtake you. Chosen one, take note, the exposure of the enemy's plot is the sign that justice is near. The same way Pharaoh's army was drawn into the sea only to be drowned by the waters of their own trap. Those who conspired against you are walking into the snare they set. Do not celebrate their downfall, pray for their awakening. For true victory is not vengeance, it is redemption. There is a holy silence in heaven right before justice moves. That silence is not hesitation, it's alignment. Everything in creation is positioning itself to testify that God's hand is upon you. The tables are turning, not by your might, but by His decree. You will not need to fight this next battle with words or anger. Your righteousness will speak for you. When the exposure happens, remain still. The truth does not need defense, it carries its own weight. Allow God to vindicate you in His timing. The same voices that mocked you will watch as favor clothes you. The same eyes that doubted you will witness your restoration. That is how divine reversal operates. It turns what was meant for shame into a spectacle of grace. Do not let bitterness enter your heart when you see the enemy fall. Bitterness contaminates blessing. Instead, thank God that He has made you strong enough to walk away without retaliation. Forgiveness is the final act of freedom. It severs the last tie between you and what tried to destroy you. Chosen one, the fire you walked through was never meant to consume you. It was meant to clarify what could not go with you into the next chapter. The flames were not punishment. They were purification. Like gold in the furnace, your value has not decreased under pressure, it has been revealed. You have been refined by trial and prepared by pain. What others call suffering, heaven calls shaping. There were nights when it felt as though everything was melting away, your confidence, your plans, even your sense of purpose. But just as a sculptor carves away stone to reveal the masterpiece within, God has been removing everything that obscured His image in you. Each cut, each tear, each broken expectation has been a chisel in the hands of divine love. The pain wasn't to break you, it was to uncover the brilliance buried beneath the dust of disappointment. The voice of the prophet still echoes through time in Zechariah chapter 13, verse 9. I will refine them like silver and test them like gold. This refining is not cruelty, it is covenant. When you said yes to God's call, you also said yes to His process. And that process sometimes feels like fire, because fire is the only element that can separate the pure from the impure. the eternal from the temporary. Chosen one, you are being purified not for punishment, but for promotion. The fire is proof that God sees something in you worth protecting. He does not refine trash, He refines treasure. You have been placed in the furnace not because you are forgotten, but because you are valuable. The flames are not your enemy. They are your midwives, ushering you into the birth of destiny. Think of the caterpillar, wrapped tightly in darkness. It believes everything has ended, unaware that the constriction is transformation. Inside the cocoon, the creature dissolves into what seems like nothing, only to emerge as something unimaginable, a butterfly, radiant and free. That is your story. The seasons that felt like endings were actually the womb of your new beginning. Every trial has taught you something sacred. Pain has become your teacher, silence your sanctuary, and endurance your armor. You now carry the fragrance of someone who has walked through fire and found God in the flames. People will sense it when they encounter you. They will see calm in your eyes where there used to be confusion, peace in your tone where there used to be panic. You are becoming a living testimony that suffering is not the end. It is the doorway to glory. But hear this truth with tenderness, chosen one. The refining is not complete until gratitude fills your heart. Gratitude transforms pain into power. It turns the ashes into fuel. When you begin to thank God not just for deliverance, but for the fire itself, you step into true maturity. The purified heart no longer asks, "Why me?" but instead whispers, "Thank you for trusting me with this refining." You stand now like a blade freshly forged, tempered, sharpened, and gleaming. The blacksmith of heaven has held you in his hand through every swing of the hammer. You are not brittle, you are balanced. You are not fragile, you are focused. You can cut through darkness because you've been shaped by divine heat. And now, as this word reaches you, take a moment to honor what God has done in your life. If these words stir your spirit, don't keep that fire hidden. Share this message like you would pass a torch in the dark, because someone else is still inside the furnace, waiting to see that survival is possible. Like this message as an act of agreement, a simple flame of gratitude that says, "Yes, Lord, I see what you've done. I see what you've..." And if your heart feels moved, subscribe and support this ministry, yes. Even donate if you are led not as payment, but as partnership. You're not funding words, you're fueling light. Every act of generosity becomes another log on the fire that keeps this message burning across the world. Somewhere, a weary soul will find warmth because of your obedience. This is not about transaction, it's about transformation. When you give, you become part of the testimony. You are sowing into soil that has been watered by tears and refined by grace. And as surely as God refines silver, He will return the harvest in ways that far surpass money through peace, revelation, and restored hope. Chosen one, the refining season is almost over. The glow you now carry is not from your own strength, it's from the fire you survived. Step forward in humility, shine with quiet power, and know this truth deep within your bones: you are never burning down. You are burning clean. Chosen one, listen closely. The air around your destiny is vibrating with divine timing. Heaven has set something in motion, and every clock in the unseen realm is counting down toward fulfillment. The date is not random, nor is the stirring in your spirit. December 5th approaches, and with it comes a spiritual reversal that has been written in heaven's record since before you were born. Every delay, every detour, every disappointment was not evidence of denial. It was calibration. The prophetic timeline of your life has been aligning. Even in the moments you thought everything was falling apart, heaven's calendar does not run late. It runs perfect. You have been walking through divine mathematics, every loss subtracting what could hinder you, every test multiplying your wisdom, every pause dividing you from what would have distracted you. Now, the equation resolves into clarity. You can sense it, even if you cannot explain it. Your spirit knows. There is a quickening inside you, an unspoken awareness that something holy is shifting. The ordinary has begun to feel temporary. Your conversations are changing. Your desires are changing. Your prayers carry a new fire. It is because the countdown has begun, and heaven is aligning all things for your reversal. As was spoken in the sacred text of Habakkuk chapter 2, verse 3. Though it lingers, wait for it. It will certainly come and will not delay. The prophet's words are not just ancient, they are current. They are being fulfilled in your story. You have waited long enough to see if what God promised would really come to pass. Now heaven declares, it will. Chosen one. There are moments when destiny demands stillness. The silence of this season is not emptiness, it is expectancy. Just as the seed lies unseen beneath the soil before breaking through the surface, your promise has been germinating in secret. The unseen does not mean inactive. Heaven has been working behind curtains of time, aligning details you could never orchestrate. The enemy tried to convince you that nothing was happening, that your prayers were bouncing back unanswered. But what he didn't know was that heaven moves quietly when it's about to move suddenly. The delay has not been denial. It's been divine precision. Every second has been accounted for. Every breath has carried you closer to the appointed hour. When December 5th arrives, do not expect chaos, expect clarity. It will not look like a thunderstorm, it will feel like a sunrise. Gentle, radiant, and impossible to stop. You will begin to notice divine patterns revealing themselves. Conversations that once confused you will suddenly make sense. Connections that seemed accidental will prove intentional. The puzzle pieces that never fit will finally form the picture heaven always saw. But this requires preparation not of your hands, but of your heart. Or you must release control of timelines, surrender your obsession with outcomes, and yield to the rhythm of heaven. The countdown is not a race. It is a rehearsal for rest. You are not waiting for a miracle. The miracle is waiting for your readiness. Chosen one, your waiting has not been wasted. Every moment has purpose. Even now, angels are positioning themselves to deliver what has been held in the unseen realm. Do not grow weary in these final days before the shift. Your obedience will determine the shape of your miracle. Stay grounded. Stay prayerful. Stay clean in heart. The blessing that approaches requires pure hands to hold it. In this sacred countdown, God calls you not to panic, but to prepare. Cleanse your atmosphere, release bitterness. Forgive quickly, worship freely. For when the appointed time strikes, you will not have time to prepare. You will already need to be ready. The reversal is not coming to test your faith, it is coming to confirm it. And now, chosen one, seal this word in your spirit with a prophetic act. Type below the number 444 a sign of divine alignment, angelic protection, and the completion of a heavenly sequence. When you do, you are not just commenting, you are prophesying agreement with heaven's timing. It is your declaration that you trust the countdown, that you will not fear the in-between. When you type 444, you declare, I am aligned, I am covered, I am ready. The number becomes a spiritual echo in the atmosphere, a visible sign of faith written into digital space. Heaven reads faith in every form, and even a small act like this carries eternal weight. Chosen one, your countdown has already begun. The clock of heaven is not ticking down to despair, it's ticking toward destiny. Trust the rhythm of divine timing. The date is set, the promise is alive, and the fulfillment is inevitable. Hold steady, keep your heart soft, and prepare your spirit for what only God can do. When heaven moves, you will not miss it. The appointed time will find you ready. Chosen one, there is a mark upon you that no human hand placed and no human hand can erase. It is unseen to the natural eye, but unmistakable in the spirit. You carry the seal of heaven, the emblem of divine ownership, the sign that you are not common. You were never meant to blend in, because your very existence disturbs the balance of darkness. You are recognized in realms you have never visited, and your name carries weight beyond what this world understands. Since the moment you were conceived, your spirit carried distinction. That is why rejection met you early. That is why misunderstanding followed you often. You have been marked by God, and what is marked is always noticed by heaven for favor, by hell for opposition. But the mark is not a curse, it is confirmation. The attacks you faced were never random. They were proof that something about you is dangerous to the kingdom of darkness. The apostle spoke timeless words in Ephesians chapter 1, verse 13. You were marked in him with a seal, the promised Holy Spirit. This seal is not a symbol, it is a signature. When heaven looks upon you, it sees its own spirit within you. That is why even when you tried to walk away, conviction followed you. That is why when you felt unworthy, grace still found you. The mark ensures that your destiny cannot be revoked, even when delayed. Chosen one, you are not wandering, you are watched over. You are not forgotten, you are fortified. The seal of the Spirit acts as both ownership and protection. Ownership means you belong to God. Protection means nothing can lay claim to you. You may feel unqualified at times, but heaven has already endorsed your name. You have divine clearance to walk where others cannot tread. Think of the old days, when kings would seal their decrees with wax impressed by their ring. That seal made the document untouchable, carrying the authority of the throne. In the same way, the seal of the Spirit upon your life signifies divine authority. When you speak in faith, heaven recognizes the sound as its own echo. When you pray, the courts of heaven respond because they recognize the royal imprint upon your spirit. That is why your prayers shake things unseen. That is why your words carry unusual weight. When you decree healing, peace, or deliverance, it is not mere speech, it is heaven speaking through you. The seal authorizes you to represent the King. You do not walk alone, you walk as an ambassador of eternity wrapped in human form. The enemy sees this mark and trembles. He cannot touch what bears the King's seal, but he can attempt to make you forget it exists. His goal is not to destroy your spirit, he can't. His goal is to distract your awareness so you no longer live like one who is chosen. That's why he sends confusion, doubt, and distraction to blur the memory of your authority. But every time you worship, every time you obey, every time you choose light over compromise, the mark glows brighter in the unseen. There have been moments when you felt the weight of isolation, when it seemed everyone else belonged somewhere except you. That isolation was not rejection, it was preservation. You could not go where others went because you carry what others do not. The mark distinguishes you, and distinction often looks like loneliness before it looks like elevation. God set you apart not to punish you, but to protect the purity of your purpose. You must understand, chosen one, that this seal carries both privilege and responsibility in our sons. It gives you access to divine favor, but it also calls you to integrity. You cannot live as those who walk without awareness. You are a vessel of heaven. What you touch, heaven touches. Where you go, heaven observes. This is why you cannot indulge in bitterness or dwell in fear. Such things contaminate the clarity of your anointing. Every season of your life has been orchestrated to remind you who you are. Even when you tried to silence the call, heaven refused to withdraw the seal. The gifts in you may have lain dormant, but they never disappeared. The call on your life is permanent, and this is the time of activation. The mark is glowing again, summoning you back into alignment with divine assignment. So lift your head, chosen one. You are not lost. You are located. You are not ordinary. You are ordained. The seal of the living God rests upon you, and every force of darkness knows it. Walk with quiet confidence, knowing that heaven recognizes your steps and darkness recognizes your authority. You carry the signet of the Spirit, the eternal proof that you belong to the King. Chosen one, the air has shifted. Something that once resisted you has begun to lose its grip. You can feel it not just around you, but within you. The weight that clung to your spirit is lifting. The confusion that clouded your mind is dissolving, and peace, gentle, radiant, unmistakable, is quietly taking its place. The reversal has already begun. Heaven rarely announces miracles with thunder. Most divine movements start in silence, in moments that feel ordinary. A thought, a word, a sudden sense of relief. It may not seem supernatural, but it carries the signature of heaven. Right now, God is turning unseen gears in your favor. What was working against you is beginning to work for you. What once seemed impossible is slowly bending toward completion. The ancient words recorded in Romans chapter 8, verse 28. And we know that in all things God works for the good of those who love him, are not poetry, they are principle. They are the law of divine reversal in motion. Every loss, every betrayal, every delay is being repurposed by heaven's hand. The same valley that once hid your tears will become the stage for your testimony. You may not see everything yet, but if you pay attention, you'll notice signs, small shifts, unexpected messages. Conversations that once felt random now seem prophetic. People who left your life suddenly resurface with changed hearts. Doors that were locked for years start to open easily. Do not dismiss these moments. They are not coincidences. They are confirmation. The divine reversal rarely arrives all at once. It unfolds gently, like dawn creeping across the horizon. The reversal began the moment you chose forgiveness over resentment. When you released those who wronged you, you unblocked the flow of heaven's justice. Reversal is not revenge, it's restoration. It's the Father saying, I will make this right. And he is doing it now, piece by piece, breath by breath. Chosen one. Your spirit can feel the motion of heaven even before your eyes can see it. That restlessness inside you, that tug to pray more, that sudden need to withdraw from noise, those are not coincidences. They are signals from the Spirit, guiding you to be still enough to witness what God is doing. When divine reversal begins, noise decreases and clarity increases. You are learning to hear the rhythm of heaven, to move when heaven moves and wait when heaven waits. Look back at your journey and see the evidence. The very things that once devastated you have built the foundation you now stand on. The rejection that once shattered you taught you discernment. The heartbreak that once silenced you taught you compassion. The failure that once humiliated you taught you humility. The fire that once terrified you taught you how to walk with God in the flames. Every wound has become wisdom, every scar a story, every loss a lesson that prepared you for this new movement of grace. The reversal is not just happening around you, it's happening inside you. The bitterness that once poisoned your thoughts is being replaced with peace. The fear that once controlled your steps is giving way to faith. You are learning that victory is not the absence of warfare, but the presence of unwavering trust. You no longer need to force what God has already promised. You are learning to flow instead of fight. There will be days in this transition that feel quiet again, when you question if the reversal has stopped. But it hasn't. Reversal is not a moment, it's a process. Sometimes God hides progress in plain sight to teach you patience. Do not measure his movement by speed, measure it by depth. What he is building now will not collapse later. Chosen one, let your heart settle into gratitude. Thank God for what is shifting, even if it's still invisible. Gratitude is what keeps the reversal alive. The more you thank him, the faster peace fills your space. Gratitude attracts glory. It creates a divine magnet for more miracles. Soon you will realize that everything that fell apart did so to make room for what was meant to stand. You will stand in the same places where you once wept and say, "Now I understand." You will hold what you once begged for and realize that the waiting was worth it. You will meet people you never imagined and know that heaven wrote the connection. And when that moment comes, remember this. You didn't manipulate the reversal, you matured into it. You grew into alignment with heaven's timing. That is why it's working now. You are no longer fighting the process. You've become one with it. Chosen one. Rest in this truth. God's reversal does not need your control, only your consent. You have already said yes with your perseverance. You have already agreed through your endurance. Now all that remains is to watch the invisible hand of heaven finish what it began. The reversal is in motion, and it will not stop until every wrong is made right. Chosen one, you stand now at a crossroads. The path before you divides in two directions, one that feels safe, predictable, and familiar, and another that feels unknown, uncomfortable, but charged with divine electricity. Heaven is watching your next step, because this is no ordinary choice. This is a destiny decision. You have come too far to turn back, yet you cannot move forward without surrender. What lies ahead requires obedience of a deeper kind, not the kind that is comfortable, but the kind that costs something. You cannot carry yesterday's habits into tomorrow's promise. The spiritual weight of what's coming demands a lighter heart, a cleaner spirit, and a firmer trust. This is why the battle inside you has grown so intense. You are not being punished. You are being positioned. Every doubt, every temptation, every distraction that suddenly rises in this moment is a test not to reveal your weakness, but to prove your readiness. Heaven is asking you now, will you trust what you cannot trace? It was written long ago in Deuteronomy chapter 30, verse 19. I have set before you life and death, blessings and curses. Now choose life, so that you may live. Those words still echo in the corridors of time, waiting for your response. To choose life means more than survival. It means alignment. It means choosing obedience when rebellion feels easier. Choosing faith when fear feels louder. Choosing forward when your emotions beg you to retreat. You have been here before, haven't you? That same moment when you knew the Spirit was prompting you to let something go, to walk away from a habit, a place, or a person, and part of you resisted. But this time is different. This time, heaven will not allow delay. This choice determines your next chapter. The door before you will not stay open forever. Chosen one, hesitation has cost you enough. Procrastination has stolen too many seasons. Every time you told yourself, I'll do it later, the enemy smiled, because later is the language of lost destinies. Heaven operates in now, faith moves in now, obedience breathes in now. The longer you wait, the weaker your conviction becomes. But when you move in faith, even trembling, heaven strengthens your feet as they touch the water. Remember the Israelites at the Red Sea. The water didn't part until they stepped forward. Some miracles are motion activated. The sea waits for your step, not your certainty. You don't need to know the details, you only need to know the direction. God is not asking you to understand, He's asking you to obey. There is power in obedience that you cannot experience through reasoning. Logic can keep you safe, but faith will set you free. The more you calculate, the more you delay. Heaven is not waiting for your perfection, it's waiting for your participation. This next move doesn't require all the answers, it requires your yes. Obedience feels heavy because it's sacred. It cuts ties with what you've outgrown. It may look like walking away from comfort, saying no to compromise, or forgiving what you swore you'd never forgive. It may mean trusting that what God removes is not punishment but pruning. You cannot be both rooted in the past and ready for promise. Something has to break, and that something is your attachment to control. There's a gentle urgency in this moment. Heaven is not shouting, it's whispering. You know what you must do. The Spirit has already revealed it in your quiet moments. Maybe it's the decision to let go of bitterness. Maybe it's the call to return to prayer with consistency. Maybe it's a step of faith toward a dream you abandoned long ago. Whatever it is, this is your crossroads. When you choose obedience, peace will follow swiftly. When you resist, chaos will linger. The difference is not in God's willingness to bless, but in your willingness to believe. Faith is not just saying you trust God, it's proving it by how you move when the path is unclear. Chosen one, take a deep breath. You have been refined, tested, and prepared for this decision. Everything you've endured has brought you here, to this exact moment. Don't let fear disguise itself as wisdom. Don't let comfort masquerade as peace. True peace doesn't come from avoiding risk, it comes from walking in divine alignment. Now, as a prophetic act of surrender, type in the comments, "I choose light." Say it with intention. When you type it, you are declaring to heaven and to yourself that you will no longer walk halfway between faith and fear. You are announcing that darkness no longer gets a vote in your decisions. I choose light means I choose clarity over confusion, truth over temptation, destiny over delay. It's not just a phrase, it's a decree. Every time someone declares I choose light, something shifts in the atmosphere. The power of agreement multiplies faith across space and time. Angels take note of every declaration of obedience, and heaven records it as covenant. This is how revival begins, not always in cathedrals or crowds, but in quiet hearts choosing light one by one. Chosen one, you are standing at the edge of promise. The next step is not for your mind to calculate, it's for your spirit to obey. Choose the light, even when shadows tempt you to stay. Walk forward, even when the path feels unmarked. The sea will not part until you move. But when you do, you will see that God was already waiting on the other side. Chosen one, restoration is rising like the tide. What was taken, what was lost, what was broken, heaven is returning it all, but not in the same form. The God who restores never gives back what was stolen in its old condition. He multiplies it, He purifies it, He transforms it until it becomes something greater than what you thought you lost. You are about to see divine compensation, not just recovery. There was a time when you looked at the ruins of your life and whispered, "Will anything good ever grow here again?" You didn't know that God had already planted new seeds beneath the ashes. The ground that once held your tears now carries roots of resurrection. Nothing you lost was wasted, it simply changed form, waiting for this very moment. The prophet's voice still echoes through time in Joel chapter 2, verse 25. I will restore to you the years that the locust has eaten. God never forgets the years devoured by hardship. Every moment you thought was lost to sorrow is being gathered by heaven to return in multiplied joy. The harvest that comes after loss is unlike any other. It is heavy with divine justice. Chosen one, restoration is not only about getting things back, it is about becoming someone new. When God restores, He doesn't rewind, He rewrites. You will not simply go back to how things were before the pain. You will rise beyond it, carrying wisdom, humility, and compassion that only come from surviving the fire. What once broke you will now build others through you. Look around you with spiritual eyes. Signs of restoration are already appearing, unexpected messages from people who once hurt you. Financial provision arriving at the exact time you needed it. Doors opening that were sealed shut for years. These are not coincidences, they are proof that the divine repairer has begun his work. You have been like a broken instrument left in silence. But now the master musician lifts you again. His hands move gently, restringing what snapped, tuning what went out of pitch. Soon, your life will sing again, not the old melody of pain, but a new song of power and peace. Restoration is God's art form. He takes what was shattered and crafts it into something sacred. And as you receive this, let your heart remain soft. Restoration is not a reward, it's a responsibility. When God blesses you again, He is trusting you to use that blessing wisely. When favor returns, handle it like fine glass, precious, fragile, holy. Use your restoration not to boast, but to build. Bless others the way heaven has blessed you, chosen one. If this message resonates in your spirit, if you feel that quiet confirmation stirring in your chest, don't hide your light. Spread it, like this message, not for numbers, but as a symbol of agreement. Yes, Lord, I receive restoration. When you share, you are sowing hope into someone else's famine. Someone, somewhere, needs to know that loss is not final, that God still rebuilds lives from rubble. If your heart is moved, subscribe and stay connected to this well of truth. Each message here is not content, it's living water. And if you are led to donate, do it as worship, not transaction. You're not giving to a person, you're partnering with purpose. Your seed becomes a spark that keeps this flame burning in dark corners of the world. Every gift, no matter how small, carries prophetic weight. It says, I believe in restoration not just for me, but for others too. Think of it like planting a tree. When you sow into what has blessed you, you don't just feed yourself, you create shade for others. Someone lost in the heat of despair will one day rest under the branches your faith grew. That's what partnership with heaven looks like. You become part of the restoration chain. Chosen one, restoration is not coming, it's already happening. You may not see the full picture yet, but the pieces are moving. You'll soon walk into spaces that once rejected you and find them ready to receive you. You'll open your mouth to share your story, and people will weep not out of pity but awe. They'll see what divine repair looks like in human form. Lift your head, breathe deep, and thank God for the rebuilding. The ruins of your past are becoming the foundation of your future. The enemy's destruction has become heaven's construction site. You will look at your life soon and whisper, "This doesn't even look like what I lost." That is the beauty of divine restoration. It always returns greater, brighter, and deeper than before. Chosen one. There comes a point in every divine story when heaven interrupts earth, It doesn't always happen with lightning or thunder. Sometimes it comes like a whisper that rearranges reality. Other times it arrives as a moment so ordinary that only the spiritually awake recognize its weight. Yet whether quiet or grand, when heaven speaks, everything beneath it shifts. You are standing on the edge of such an interruption now. It may not look dramatic from the outside. You may still be surrounded by familiar walls, still walking through your daily routines. But in the spirit realm, something has already broken open. The decree has been issued. The command has gone forth. The divine plan that once hovered above you like a promise now descends into manifestation. Heaven is no longer observing, it is intervening. Chosen one. Divine interruption does not seek your permission. It requires your awareness. God steps into time when time can no longer contain what He intends to do. You may feel that things are suddenly moving too quickly, that what was once stable is shifting under your feet. But do not fear, this is not chaos. It is recalibration. When heaven interrupts earth, it removes what cannot remain and accelerates what must be fulfilled. Think of the stories you have read: the sea parting for Moses, fire descending on Elijah's altar, Paul struck blind on the Damascus road. Each was an interruption, a moment when eternity collided with the natural. These encounters carried disruption before they carried direction. The same pattern flows through your life now. The shaking you feel is not destruction. It is divine alignment. The sacred text reminds us in Matthew chapter 19, verse 26. With God, all things are possible. Those words are not simply inspiration. They are the spiritual law that governs miracles. When heaven intervenes, possibility expands beyond human reason. What you called too late becomes right on time. What looked finished becomes fertile ground for resurrection. You must understand, God's interruptions are invitations. When He invades your timeline, it is because He wants to elevate your understanding of who He is. He doesn't just want to change your situation, He wants to change your perception. You thought He was coming to fix what was broken, but He is revealing that He was never absent from the breaking. His presence was hidden in the chaos, His fingerprints embedded in every fragment. Heaven is not reacting to your pain. It has been planning your redemption. The delay was never a denial. It was the gathering of evidence for a miracle. Now that the time has come, you will witness the invisible become visible. Circumstances that have resisted movement for years will shift in days. Relationships long dead will find new life. Finances locked by injustice will begin to flow. And most of all, the weariness inside your soul will break under the weight of divine peace. When heaven interrupts earth, the ordinary becomes sacred. Every sound, every sunrise, every conversation becomes potential prophecy. Pay attention in this season to the small things. The sentence that someone speaks casually may be heaven's coded confirmation. The stranger who crosses your path may carry your next instruction. Divine interruptions often hide within human interactions. Yet even as heaven moves, not everyone around you will understand. Divine activity often looks like disruption to those who live only by sight. Some will question your choices, others will misinterpret your peace. But you must remain anchored in what you know rather than what they see. You are not obligated to explain divine timing to those who are not part of your assignment. The ones meant to walk with you will recognize heaven's fragrance in your steps. Chosen one. This interruption carries a dual purpose: restoration and revelation. Restoration will return what was lost, but revelation will show you why it was allowed. The first blessing rebuilds your life. The second transforms your vision. when you finally understand that God's presence was constant even in silence. You will never fear delay again. You will realize that every closed door was divine choreography leading you to this intersection of glory and grace. There will be signs that heaven's interruption is active. You may feel a surge of creativity you haven't felt in years. Ideas, solutions, and insights will flood your mind with unusual speed. People will show up unexpectedly, carrying the very resources or wisdom you prayed for. The winds of acceleration will blow through your circumstances. This is not imagination, it is confirmation. You have stepped into divine timing. But remember, chosen one, divine acceleration requires divine order. When things begin to move, resist the temptation to grasp for control. You are not called to steer the wind. You are called to spread your sails. Let faith, not fear, set your rhythm. When the unexpected happens, respond with worship instead of worry. Worship transforms interruption into invitation. Heaven's movement is never random, it is orchestrated with precision. Every thread of your story, even the painful ones, is being woven into a tapestry of divine symmetry. You will soon see how the dark seasons and the bright ones have formed a perfect pattern. Nothing has been wasted, nothing has been lost. Every tear you cried was a line in the symphony that heaven is now releasing through your life. Chosen one. This is the era of divine interruption, the moment when heaven invades the ordinary and rewrites your destiny. Be still enough to notice, humble enough to receive, and bold enough to walk through the doors that open. The impossible is no longer distant. It is standing at your doorstep, knocking softly. The one who interrupts is the same one who restores. And when he moves, every wall of limitation crumbles under his command. You are not witnessing coincidence, you are witnessing coordination. The supernatural is overtaking the natural, and you, chosen one, are right in the center of it. Chosen one, the shift that heaven promised is now pressing closer. It is not simply about change in your surroundings, it is transformation within your spirit. You can feel it, your appetite for shallow things is fading. Your craving for peace has grown. Your heart no longer tolerates the noise it once entertained. That is not fatigue, that is divine preparation. Heaven is making room in you for overflow. This next move of God requires space. The overflow cannot be contained in old vessels. That is why you have been feeling stretched, even emptied. God is clearing what no longer serves your destiny. He is not punishing you. He is purifying you. You are a cup being polished for holy wine, a vessel being reshaped for greater measure. What felt like loss was simply God pouring out what had expired. The words still speak truth in Luke chapter 6, verse 38. Give, and it will be given to you a good measure, pressed down, shaken together, and running over. The promise is not just about provision, it's about posture. To receive overflow, your spirit must remain open. The flow of heaven only fills what is surrendered. When you cling to fear or control, the flow stops. When you release, it rushes in. Chosen one, this season is about spiritual alignment. You are being called to live lighter, less burdened by what others think, less controlled by what you cannot change, and more anchored in trust. God is not asking for perfection, He is asking for permission. He wants access to every corner of your being, the memories you hide, the emotions you bury, the disappointments you refuse to acknowledge. The Spirit cannot fill what you keep closed. You have been faithful in the waiting, but now you must be faithful in the emptying. The oil of overflow comes when you pour out the last of what you have in obedience. The widow in the old story didn't receive abundance until she poured what seemed too little. Your act of trust becomes heaven's invitation to release more. Do not be afraid to pour, to give, to forgive, to let go. This purification is not glamorous. Sometimes it looks like weeping for reasons you can't explain. Sometimes it means walking away from places that once felt safe. It may even feel like starting over. But every pruning has a promise attached to it. God never removes without replacing. Every space He clears is a chamber He intends to fill with glory. Heaven is preparing you not just to survive in blessing, but to sustain it. Overflow without order becomes waste. So, the Spirit is teaching you rhythm: when to rest, when to rise, when to speak, and when to stay silent. This new flow will not respond to striving. It will respond to surrender. The more you yield, the greater the overflow. Chosen one, you are being trained to carry abundance without arrogance, to hold success without losing humility, to receive miracles without forgetting mercy. That's why the testing has been so intense. It has been building the character to hold the crown. Overflow is not only a gift, it is a weight, and God will not allow it to crush you. You may not realize it yet, but even your silence lately has been sacred. Heaven has been speaking to you through stillness, not through storms. The peace that has started to fill you is evidence that something supernatural is maturing. You are not who you were a year ago, or even a month ago. There is a maturity now, a calm that can only come from someone who has walked through fire and found God faithful in the ashes. Soon, the overflow will touch every area of your life. Relationships that were strained will soften. Ideas you shelved will begin to bloom again. Provision will come from unexpected places. You will feel like rivers are opening where deserts once stretched endlessly. But this time, you will not chase blessings, they will recognize and locate you. Heaven always finds a vessel prepared to pour again. You are stepping into the rhythm of divine reciprocity. What you give out returns multiplied. When you bless others, blessing circles back. When you pray for others, healing begins in you. This is the secret of overflow. You can't outgive God. Chosen one, if this word stirs your heart, seal your faith with a prophetic sign. Type in the comments 8888, the number of new beginnings and divine abundance. When you write it, you're not performing ritual, you're releasing revelation. It's your way of saying, I am open, I am ready, I make room for overflow. The number 888 is heaven's echo of renewal. It represents the cycle of grace, an infinite flow where giving and receiving become one motion. When you type it, you align yourself with that current. You declare that lack will no longer define your days, that the river of divine provision will find you again and again. Chosen one, breathe deeply and rest in this truth. Your emptiness was never punishment, it was preparation. The jar that once seemed drained is being filled to overflowing. What once felt like loss will soon feel like lifting. You are entering the season of divine excess, where heaven will pour until your spirit overflows. Make space. Open your hands. The river is rising, and you are its chosen vessel. Chosen one. Every tear you shed, every season that felt unjust, every wound that seemed unanswered, heaven saw them all. None of it disappeared into the dark. The universe may forget, people may move on, but heaven never overlooks injustice. Every ounce of pain has been stored, every injustice recorded, and now the law of divine compensation is being set in motion. The balance of heaven is tilting toward you. God is not only restoring, He is compensating. Restoration gives back what was lost, but compensation multiplies it. When heaven compensates, it doesn't just return what was stolen, it pays interest. You are entering the season where the scales will swing in your favor. For years, It felt like everything you gave went unnoticed. Every act of kindness unreturned. Every faithful seed sown into barren ground producing nothing. But nothing was wasted. The field you thought was dead was simply lying dormant, waiting for the rain of divine justice. The prophet once declared in Isaiah chapter 61, verse 7, "Instead of your shame, you will receive a double portion." Those words are not poetic, they are legal. They are the promise of restitution from the King himself. Where humiliation once echoed, honor will sing. Where emptiness lived, abundance will settle. The law of divine exchange is in effect your shame for his glory, your sorrow for his strength, your ashes for his beauty. Chosen one, think of Job. He sat in the ashes, stripped of everything, mocked by those who didn't understand. Yet the end of his story revealed something sacred: compensation. The same God who allowed the testing commanded restoration, and the man who lost everything ended with twice as much. You are walking a similar path. The stripping wasn't to destroy, it was to set the stage for multiplication. Heaven always gives back more than it takes. Every betrayal was a seed, every delay was an investment, every rejection was divine redirection. You have been depositing faith into the invisible realm, and now heaven is releasing the return. The interest rate of eternity is never late, and its payout is never small. What's coming will make you whisper. This doesn't make sense, because it won't. The favor will arrive so unexpectedly, so precisely that only heaven could have orchestrated it. Compensation does not always come in the same form as loss. Sometimes what you receive is not the thing itself, but something greater. You may have lost time, but God will redeem it with acceleration. You may have lost relationships, but God will replace them with ones of divine purpose. You may have lost opportunities, but He will give you authority that no opportunity could have produced. He never simply replaces, He multiplies. You will see people who once dismissed you begin to seek your wisdom. You will receive favor in places that once shut you out. You will walk into rooms where you were once uninvited, and they will not start without you. This is not arrogance, it is recompense. The same universe that once conspired to test you is now commanded to bless you. And yet, chosen one, the most profound compensation is not external. It is internal. The peace you now carry, the strength that no longer wavers, the discernment that sees beyond appearance, these are treasures forged in suffering. You would not trade them for comfort, because they are the currency of spiritual maturity. This is the secret. Compensation often begins in the soul before it reaches the surface. When God compensates, it's not revenge, it's revelation. He doesn't merely restore what you had, He reveals why you lost it. You will look back and see divine purpose written over every painful page. You will understand that the things removed were never punishment. They were pruning for abundance. Every unanswered prayer will reveal itself as answered differently. Every no will prove to have protected you from something smaller than your destiny. Chosen one, you are stepping into the law of divine exchange. What was meant to break you has become the very reason heaven blesses you. The scars you carry will open doors for others. Your testimony will become a key that unlocks hope in those still bound by despair. That is how God compensates. He turns survivors into saviors, victims into vessels of victory. Do not be surprised when blessings start arriving from unexpected directions. They will not come as rewards for your strength, but as rewards for your surrender. The ones who tried to harm you will see you rise, not in vengeance, but in vindication. And as you rise, your heart will not harden. It will expand with compassion, because you will finally see that even in loss, heaven was never unjust, it was preparing balance. You have waited long for this, endured more than many could understand, and through it all, you did not quit. That is why the scales are tipping. Compensation is not a rumor, it's a reality forming right now in unseen realms. Soon it will manifest in ways undeniable, and you will say, "He remembered me, chosen one." Stand in quiet awe. The judge of heaven has ruled in your favor, and every injustice is being reversed. Prepare to receive not with pride, but with peace. What's coming is not charity, it's covenant fulfillment. Chosen one. This is the season when what was once promised becomes visible. You are no longer living by mere expectation, you are walking inside fulfillment. The air around you feels different because reality is catching up to prophecy. What was once invisible is now taking form. You are stepping into the realm of reversed realities, where what once hurt you now helps you. What once buried you now builds you, and what once silenced you now sings through you. The pain that once pressed you down has become the platform lifting you higher. You no longer view your scars with shame. They are emblems of survival, symbols of the battles that could not destroy you. Each one tells a story of grace greater than grief. Heaven has rewritten your identity, no longer the wounded but the warrior, no longer the abandoned but the anointed. The reversal is not only external, it is the transformation of how you see yourself. The psalmist's voice still echoes in Psalm chapter 126, verse 5. Those who sow with tears will reap with songs of joy. That line is no metaphor to you, it's memory. You sowed tears when no one saw. You planted hope in seasons of drought. You prayed when it felt pointless. Now the harvest begins to bloom, and it blooms in music. The melody of redemption is rising from the same ground where you once wept. Chosen one, look around you. The reversal is tangible. The conversations that once brought pain now bring peace. The places that once reminded you of failure now serve as altars of gratitude. What you once ran from, you now walk through with confidence. That is divine evidence, proof that your healing is not theoretical. It's practical. There was a time when you asked, "Why me?" but now your heart whispers, "Thank you, Lord, for trusting me." You once begged for the storm to stop, but now you understand that without the storm, you would never have learned to sail. The waves that threatened to drown you have become your teachers. The darkness that once terrified you trained your vision to see light others cannot perceive. You no longer fear the night, you recognize it as the canvas upon which God paints new dawns. The world may still remember your breakdown, but heaven celebrates your breakthrough. People saw the fall, but heaven wrote the resurrection. The greatest miracle is not that your circumstances changed, it's that you did. The bitterness that once filled your heart has dissolved into compassion. The anxiety that once ruled your mind has been replaced by quiet strength. You have learned the art of resting in divine rhythm. Chosen one. You are walking in reversed realities because God has reversed the verdict. Every accusation of the past has been dismissed. Every limitation spoken over your name has been nullified. Heaven has issued a new decree, and it reads, redeemed, restored, released. You are now functioning from grace, not guilt, from purpose, not pain. The very energy that once oppressed you is now serving you. Do you see it? The relationships that ended abruptly now make sense. They were subtractions that led to stability. The failures that once humiliated you have become testimonies that humble you. The loneliness that once hollowed your spirit has become sacred solitude where revelation now lives. You are walking proof that God wastes nothing. In this reality, opposition no longer frightens you. You have learned that resistance is a sign of progress. You have discovered that peace is not the absence of conflict, but the presence of clarity. Even when life presses, you no longer panic, you perceive. You can read spiritual weather now. You can discern the difference between attack and alignment. That wisdom is part of the reward. And yet, chosen one, remember, this reversal is not the end, it is the beginning of responsibility. To walk in reversed realities means to live as a mirror of heaven on earth. It means carrying light without arrogance, speaking truth without judgment, moving in power without pride. Your testimony is not for performance, it's for purpose. It is meant to awaken others who are still trapped in their before season. When they see you, they must see proof that restoration is real. You do not need to preach. Your peace preaches. You do not need to convince. Your calmness convinces. Those who once doubted God's hand on your life will find themselves drawn to the glow of your quiet confidence. They will ask, "How did you survive?" And you will answer, "I didn't, I was transformed." The reversal has turned pain into power, fear into faith, and survival into significance. What once defined you no longer confines you. You are not returning to what was. You are revealing what is. The future is no longer waiting ahead, it has stepped into the present, wearing your name. Chosen one, stand tall in this new reality. You are living proof that heaven reverses what hell intended for ruin. Your steps now carry redemption. Your breath carries testimony. Everything that once opposed you now bows to the will of God moving through you. You are not escaping your past, you are escorting it into glory. The reversal is complete, and yet it keeps unfolding. Every sunrise will reveal another layer of what God has done. You will wake each day and realize, this is what grace looks like when it walks. Chosen one. The air feels charged again, like the silence before a sacred storm. You can sense heaven gathering its army, calling the scattered ones to stand together. This is the clarion call of the remnant, the awakening of those who refuse to bow to despair. You are part of that company, the ones who rise not for fame, but for fire. You are not called to blend in with the world. You are called to burn for it. This moment in history is not random. Every prayer you've whispered, every burden you've carried, every act of obedience that seemed unnoticed, they were not wasted. They were signals sent into eternity, and now heaven is answering back. The call is going out across the nations, summoning those marked by divine purpose to take their place. You are hearing it because you belong to that remnant. The apostle wrote with authority in 1 Peter chapter 2, verse 9, "You are a chosen generation, a royal priesthood." That declaration is not for the distant past, it's for now. The priesthood is awakening in you. You are both warrior and intercessor, carrying light into places that have forgotten it. You have been trained in secret so you can lead in silence and heal through humility. The remnant is rising, and you are part of its rhythm. Together you form a mosaic of light, each piece carrying its own shade of purpose. Some of you are called to speak, others to serve, others to create, but all are called to shine. The world doesn't need another echo, it needs anointed originals. You are one of them. Your voice may tremble, but your truth is thunder. Chosen one. This call is not about fame or platform, it's about alignment. Heaven is asking for your yes, not your performance. You are being positioned as a bridge between the seen and the unseen, between what is broken and what can be healed. When you speak, walls crumble. When you pray, atmospheres shift. You are a conduit of divine current flowing into weary places. And yet, even as the remnant rises, remember that revival begins in small acts. The greatest awakenings are not born in arenas, but in quiet obedience. when you choose kindness over anger, when you extend grace where none is deserved, you are igniting revival in the unseen. You are proving that light can still win. If these words find your spirit resonating, if you feel that familiar warmth in your chest, that pulse of recognition, then this message is not merely for you. It's through you, like this message as a simple act of agreement, a spark that says, I hear the call. When you share, you are carrying the sound of awakening into timelines that have gone silent. Someone scrolling through despair may hear your echo and remember their identity. If you are led, subscribe and stay connected to this flow of messages. Every word here is crafted to remind you who you are, to refill your spirit when the world drains you. And if your heart moves toward generosity, donate not out of obligation but out of overflow. You are not funding words. You are fueling waves of restoration. Every seed you sow becomes another ripple that reaches further than you can imagine. Think of it like a lighthouse. When you give, you keep its flame alive. Somewhere in the dark waters, a soul lost at sea will see that light and find direction again. Your act of kindness keeps the beam burning, piercing through storms that others cannot see their way out of. You are not just a listener. You are a keeper of light. Chosen one. Do not underestimate the quiet power of your agreement. Even a small comment can become a flame. Write below something from your heart, a single word, a short prayer, or even just your amen. When you write, you mark this moment in faith. You are declaring to heaven, I am part of this remnant. I will not stay silent while light calls for witnesses. The clarion call of the remnant is not a sound of fear, it's a sound of unity. Across every border, every tongue, heaven is weaving hearts together. You are not standing alone. Millions are rising with you. The light in one becomes the spark in another until the whole horizon glows. So stand tall, chosen one, lift your torch high. This is your generation's call, and heaven has counted you among the awakened. You are proof that even in the darkest times, light not only survives, it multiplies. Chosen one, even as glory draws near, a final tremor passes through your soul. It is the test before the turn, the hush before heaven's crescendo. You feel it in the unseen, a subtle resistance, a last whisper of doubt trying to find its way back into your mind. This is not coincidence, it is confirmation. Before every crown, there is always a final crossroad. You have walked through fire, through loneliness, through the valley of confusion. And every time you stood back up, the enemy marked another defeat. But he tries one last time, hoping that fatigue might make you surrender. This test is not about temptation, it's about trust. Heaven already knows you will make it through, but you must see for yourself what has been forged inside you. The sacred text speaks with authority in James chapter 1, verse 12. Blessed is the one who perseveres under trial. Those words are not comfort for the faint-hearted, they are coronation words for the faithful. Perseverance is not merely surviving, it is standing when there's every reason to fall. You have been trained for this moment. The last wave before calm always hits hardest. Chosen one, the test before the turn often looks like the very thing you prayed against. It disguises itself as disappointment, misunderstanding, or silence. It feels like doors closing again, people withdrawing again, or opportunities slipping away just when you were sure breakthrough had arrived. But don't be deceived, this is not a setback. It's the tightening before release. Just as an arrow must be pulled back to fly forward, your current tension is only preparation for acceleration. The enemy knows he cannot stop what God has ordained, but he hopes to make you stop yourself. He hopes weariness will whisper that maybe the promise wasn't real. that maybe your faith was misplaced. That whisper is the last illusion of defeat. Do not negotiate with it. The storm always screams loudest right before it dies. You have already proven your endurance in smaller trials. This final test is not to break you, but to reveal to you the strength you now carry. Remember how far you've come, the days you prayed through tears, the nights you refused to let go of hope. You did not come this far to collapse in the final stretch. Your endurance has matured into authority. In this last stretch, the silence may deepen. God often says nothing when He is closest, not because He is absent, but because His trust in you is complete. Teachers do not speak during the final exam. They observe. Heaven is observing you now, not in judgment, but in anticipation. The angels are watching with quiet pride because they know what you're about to step into. The final test is subtle. It will not come with horns or fanfare. It will arrive in choices, a conversation where you could lash out but choose peace instead. A disappointment that tempts you to despair but you decide to worship. A delay that stings, yet you stay still. Each moment of restraint is victory disguised as waiting. Each moment of faith in silence is a seed that blooms into favor. Do not confuse delay with denial. The test is not proof that God has forgotten, it is proof that you have grown. If you still feel the fire, it's because you're being refined into final brilliance. Gold glows brightest just before it leaves the furnace. Chosen one, you have entered that threshold. Heaven is measuring not your performance, but your posture. Will you stay soft when others turn hard? Will you remain kind when unrecognized? Will you still give thanks when the promise hasn't manifested yet? These are the questions that separate those who inherit the kingdom from those who only glimpse it. Even the wind seems to hold its breath now, watching. Creation knows your story has reached its climax. You are one act away from fulfillment, one prayer away from manifestation, one step away from seeing what all the tears were for. Do not let the weight of waiting make you forget how close you are. You can almost hear the sound of your own name being spoken in heaven's joy. This test will not end in failure, it will end in revelation. You will realize that what was being tested was never your worth, it was your willingness. And you have proven willing again and again. You have kept faith alive in a faithless age. You have guarded light when the world preferred shadows. You have walked when others waited for certainty. Chosen one, the turn is upon you. When this final shaking ends, you will emerge with eyes that see differently, with hands that heal what once hurt, with a voice that carries peace instead of pain. You will look back on this test and say, "That was the moment I learned I was unbreakable." Hold steady, beloved. The furnace is fading, and the crown is near. Heaven has seen enough, the test is almost over, and the turn has already begun. Chosen one, the dawn has broken. You can almost feel heaven exhaling over your life, the way a storm settles after it has spent its fury. The air is cleaner, lighter, charged with something holy and irreversible. This is the moment every tear has been preparing you for, the moment of divine reversal. Everything that once pressed you down now becomes the very wind lifting you higher. The shift is not loud, it's sacred. It does not arrive with chaos, but with clarity. You may wake one morning and realize the heaviness you carried for years is simply gone, not lessened, not buried, gone. That is how divine reversal manifests quietly but completely. It's not a negotiation with the past, it's a decree from heaven that says, "It is finished." You have been through the refining, the delay, the loneliness, the battle, the test. And now, what was meant to harm you begins to serve you. The old fears that once haunted you now fuel your faith. The disappointments that once drained you now define your depth. You are not the same person who began this journey. You have become a living contradiction to everything the enemy predicted, a miracle clothed in human form. It is written in Revelation chapter 3, verse 11, "Hold fast what you have, that no one may take your crown." These words are a whisper and a warning. The crown that heaven places on your head is not made of metal or jewels. It is woven from endurance, humility, and trust. You did not earn it by perfection. You received it by perseverance. Every moment you chose light instead of bitterness became another thread in its design. Chosen one, look back once more, not with grief but with gratitude. The roads that seemed endless now lead to understanding. The people who left taught you how to love without chains. The battles that broke your strength awakened your spirit. You can see now that even your detours were divine. What you thought delayed your purpose actually developed your character. There is a stillness that comes when the war inside you ends. It doesn't mean life will never challenge you again. It means you no longer fight from fear. You walk now from a place of settled victory. The reversal has changed your posture. You don't chase, you attract, and you don't strive, you flow, you don't fear, you discern. This is what it means to be crowned, carrying peace in the very places where panic once ruled. You are standing now beneath the open sky of fulfillment. What once seemed impossible now feels inevitable. The prayers you repeated in tears are being answered in whispers. The doors that refuse to open no longer resist you. Where there was once labor, there is now ease. The anointing that rests upon you carries a new fragrance, the scent of completion. Chosen one, the crown upon your spirit is more than reward, it's responsibility. You are now called to walk as one who knows the weight of grace. You cannot return to the old patterns, the small thinking, the frantic striving. You have been crowned with wisdom. Your words now hold creative power. Your choices shape atmospheres. Your presence carries peace that others can feel but not explain. You are heaven's evidence that what was meant for harm can become holy. There will still be moments of testing, but they will no longer terrify you. You will face them as a ruler faces wind, acknowledging the force, yet unmoved by it. The authority you carry is quiet but unmistakable. You have become a vessel of reversal, and wherever you go, that same power flows. Situations will shift simply because you walk into them. This is the mark of those crowned by grace. Their victory overflows into the lives around them. December 5th has arrived, and it will mark more than a date. It will mark a dimension. Something ends, and something higher begins. The tables have turned, and the handwriting of heaven has sealed your new chapter. You will see justice where there was judgment, laughter where there were tears, abundance where there was lack. What you once called loss will soon be known as the seed of your restoration. And as you step forward, do so with gentleness. You do not need to prove the crown. Its glow speaks for itself. You are not competing with anyone. Your journey was handcrafted. The reversal is not about revenge, it's about revelation, the unveiling of who you have always been under layers of pain. Chosen one, wear your crown with humility. Let it remind you not of the struggle, but of the strength that came from it. Let it teach you to see others with the same compassion heaven showed you. The story that began in sorrow now ends in song, and that song will echo through every life you touch. This is your divine reversal. It is complete, it is holy, and it is yours. Chosen one, take this moment and breathe. Let the words that have walked beside you settle deep into your heart. You have journeyed through fire and revelation, through loss and restoration. And now you stand clothed in peace. What began as pain has become prophecy fulfilled. This is not the end of your story. It is the awakening of a new chapter written by divine hands. You carry light now, not just for yourself, but for the world around you. Somewhere, someone still wandering through their midnight needs to know that dawn is possible. You are that reminder. The same grace that lifted you will flow through your words, your kindness, your courage. When you shine, you don't boast, you testify. If this message has spoken to your soul, don't let it end here. Like this message as an act of gratitude, a simple offering that says, I receive this truth. Share it with someone whose heart may be breaking quietly behind a smile. You never know how far one act of obedience can travel. A single seed of light can grow into a forest of hope. Subscribe and stay connected, not out of routine but relationship, because this space is not a platform. It's a gathering place for the chosen. Every visit here is a return to alignment, a reminder that you are seen, known, and destined. And as you finish reading, take a moment to comment something from your heart. One sentence of faith, one word of gratitude, one declaration of belief. When you do, it becomes more than text, it becomes testimony. Together, our voices weave a chorus of light across the digital heavens, proving that even through screens, God still speaks, still heals, still reverses. The story continues through you. Chosen one, keep the flame alive.